remember there was something you couldn't do.
Well, what do you think? Let's get started. Eh? I'm Don Sunan. For those of you that may not know me, I've been involved with this project now almost 5 years, 4.5 years, I guess. Seems like a week ago, but some days it seems like 100 years ago, but anyway. This evening, we want to give you an idea of what PARC is all about from a recreation perspective. Many of you have had to listen through all of the proposals for the project, the financing, the fundraising, arts activities, performing arts centers and the like. And we can't cover everything in an hour and do it justice. And one of the areas that we started getting some feedback on was that we weren't doing enough to explain what is going on here in recreation. And that is a huge part of this project. And I think too many times, you know, you kind of go after the shiny thing and, you know, the big new stuff. But what's really the blocking and tackling here is what goes on here each and every day on the recreation side. So we want to share that with you. I'm president of PARC. I've lived in Plymouth Township with my family for 49 years. And I've been somewhat involved in the community. So I like to think I'm reasonably well connected, and I felt that this was a good opportunity. Also on the program tonight is going to be Ted Barker, and Ted is, let me see if we, oh, I ought to turn this on, it works better with the switch on. Ted is the owner and president of Shaw Construction, big construction firm locally, very much involved, very capable, and just an outstanding guy and a great firm. He's on our board of directors, which also really helps with all of his broad range of experience in that arena. He's also the head of operations, football operations for the Plymouth Canton Steelers. Very strong advocate for sports and sports activities. As I mentioned, he's on our board, he's on several other boards as well. We also have on the program tonight Buddy Shue. Buddy is the creator of the Buddy Up program. And he has touched about 1,500 people that have been through his program. And I think after you hear him tonight, you will see why he has been very successful in doing this. The program started in Westland, and it really moved into PARC a couple of years ago. Buddy was a finalist on the TV reality show Biggest Losers. So he comes at this whole fitness and thing from a whole different perspective. He's going to share that with us tonight. He's also the pastor of his church, and he's a heck of a preacher, man, I'll tell you. I would like to introduce a few folks that are part of our organization. Mark Malcolm is back there. I saw Mark walk in. Mark can stand up. We would not be here today without Mark. And Steve Ward is our financial guy. Mike Devine, next to him, Mike Devine works for Joe Phillips, architectural firm. So we got the finance guy. Mark was the CEO of Tower International, $2 billion multinational firm. He recently retired. Steve Ward was the finance guy with it. Mike Devine's on the architectural side. Ted's the construction guy. So we've got a pretty good balance of people, and I've had a fair bit of business experience myself. So our board and the folks directly involved here have got a lot of experience in doing big projects and managing very complex situations. Gail Grieger is our executive director. Gail's been with us now about almost 2 years. She runs day-to-day operations. Marsha Kreza is in charge of our marketing operations. Samantha Maples on the Ed Smith is in the office staff. And Carrie Ann, you here? Carrie Ann plays in the back, doesn't open the doors, and it doesn't close up at night without Carrie Ann. She looks after all the day-to-day stuff. What's that? Oh, and Carrie, I didn't see you sitting in the shadows there. We have to park you under a light. Carrie Smith is the head of swim operations, and very active in that. She did it for 10 years for the school district. We just pilfered her when we took over the operation here. She's done a terrific job. Is it Megan? Is that Megan down there? Megan is really the day-to-day hands-on operations in the swim program. Between the two of them, we never hear from them. It's incredible. We got 900 people in the swim program. I haven't heard a problem with the swim program in months. Never hear about it. They just do a terrific job. If you want a bunch of information, go to our website. It's got everything on there you could ever imagine. Every presentation we've ever done, all the renderings, business cases, market studies, all the things you'd ever want to know about this project. Go to our website. We're bringing out some posters. You probably saw the Support Park posters back a year or so ago. Now we got Park Matters posters. Help yourself to them on the way out. All right. Park's mission, and this hadn't changed from day one, to enrich lives through quality arts, education, and recreation programs for all ages, from toddlers through seniors. On this facility, just to give you a quick rundown on where we stand, we have 28, 29 full-time tenants here. They have their offices here. They've moved their offices in here. They open up every morning and they operate throughout the day. 28 of them, arts organizations, and a couple of recreation ones as well. We have over 100 outside user groups over the course of a year. Everything from mom wants to have a birthday party for their 10-year-old boy and they want to, whatever, bring a bunch of their friends in. To last Saturday, we had 1,500 people in here packing meals for the Kids Coalition Against Hunger. And a whole range in between. We got football teams, basketball teams, volleyball teams, and a whole lot. Well over 100 outside users that come here, take it from a day to a week to a month, whatever the case may be. The building at this point is 90% utilized. We've only got a small amount of space on the second floor and on the third floor, and it's going fast and won't be long. We'll be absolutely fully occupied. And we've only been open for 2.5 years, and we're pretty pleased. We've got 160,000 square feet here to occupy, and we're 90%. That includes the pool and the gym and things like that too that get used every day. But almost this entire facility is being utilized. We have 3,000 regular participants. These are swimmers, basketball players, kids in theater programs, music programs, and the like. And then they have the siblings and parents and all the rest that come here and attend events, many of them in this room. We have 90%, there was a survey done by a professional firm last fall, and some of you may be familiar with it, and they asked people, are you aware of PARC? 90% of the people in the city and the township, average, the city was a little bit higher than the township, but about 90% of people said they were aware of it, and that was after only 2 years of us being here. You know, getting 90% of the people being aware of anything, I think we're pretty proud of that. And 85% believe that PARC adds value. And getting 85% of people agree on anything is almost impossible. So, you know, we're feeling pretty good about all that. I'm not going to get into what we're going to do in the project, but one of the most visible things that you will see as the project goes forward, if it gets funded, they just destroyed the aesthetics of that building back in the 70s when they did this to virtually all the schools in the country to save energy, I guess. We want to take it back the way it was. So that, you know, would really improve, I think, the appearance on Main Street downtown and make this building much more attractive. I hear, you know, people say, oh, that thing is ugly, just tear it down. Well, by the time we get done with the renovation, we'll be proud to have it. Now, I said we were going to talk about recreation things. I want to talk about senior programs, primarily. We offer a lot for senior programs, and right now, the seniors in this community are dreadfully underserved. Compared to any other community anywhere around, we are not doing much for our seniors. And the community is starting to recognize that, including the city and the township. But we have facilities here. We have meeting rooms. We have activity rooms. We got office space for various senior groups. Gymnasium, pool, tennis and pickleball courts. We have indoor and outdoor walking and running space, outdoor gathering space, and we're handicap accessible. We got 3 handicap entrances to the building, and we have an elevator if there's any need to get to the 2nd and 3rd floor. Some of the programs here, we have social walking programs, fitness classes, pickleball, line dancing, all kinds of social gatherings. I see the Plymouth Garden Club is here this week. They had their meetings here. Pottery and art classes, free music and theater performances, culinary arts classes, and we've had a really nice relationship developing with the DIA. And we, you know, from this facility, you walk across the street, you're at the Historical Museum and at the library across the street, and of course all the restaurants downtown. So from this facility, you also have access to whatever programming might be going on in those other facilities. In the fitness side, Z-Spot Fitness handles the fitness programs here. They offer a variety of classes for seniors, including Zumba Gold, yoga, strength training classes, and a whole bunch more, and they're going to talk about that a little later. Buddy's going to talk about that on the fitness side. But these are targeted for seniors. They are set up so that seniors can participate in it. It's not everything you see on television on fitness programs, all right? And then pickleball. This has taken off like wildfire, and some of you probably know about this from Florida. They're converting all kinds of tennis courts to pickleball courts. We started out with a court or two and a couple hours a day. We're now up to 3 courts, 18 hours a day, and they're standing in line waiting to play. It is just crazy. I mean, this has really taken off. Our aquatics program, we have all kinds of water fitness classes. Carrie and Megan run those programs. And in addition to the classes, and they're suitable again for seniors, targeted for seniors. And we have open swimming. If you're a good, strong swimmer, you can swim laps. I don't know, it's $5, $5, $6, something like that, to go out there and swim till you can't anymore. Swimming instructions, swim lessons, no matter how old you are, you're not too old to learn how to swim. We have a lot of concert programs. We have them in here, we have them elsewhere. Here's one that just recently started up, the Michigan, or the Main Street Opera Theater, who has their offices here. The Michigan Philharmonic have their offices here. They've gotten together and they're doing first Friday of the month, free noon lunch concert series. And you can come in, it's free, you can buy coffee or refreshments and also some food for lunch. And of course, there are all the theater activities. We've had about 300 now performances in the small theater, this theater, in the 2.5 years that we've been open. This is a busy, busy place. You come in here, generally you're looking at $10 tickets. Some are a little more, some are less, but it's a great place to come in and get some entertainment. Got all kinds of fitness programs. You've got a 1/3 of a mile walking route through the school in the winter. And this is very popular, particularly with seniors in the wintertime. Instead of walking in the mall or walking on the sidewalks, you come in here, it's warm, you got all the amenities here, and so that's become a very popular. And if you prefer outside, we got a 1/4 mile running track around the football stadium. And you see a lot of people out there walking, jogging, running on that track. You see there's nice space, open space behind this building. We got 16.5 acres. You can come out here and walk and hang out and really enjoy, except for the train whistles, but other than that, you don't have to deal with a lot of the things you might have to deal with on the public, on sidewalks or crossing streets. It's a safe environment. As I mentioned, we have a lot of activity with the DIA. Last summer we had the Inside Out program, came to Plymouth. You saw some of the exhibits all around town. The DIA has come to love us, and they really like the Plymouth community. They find it very attractive. You're going to see a whole lot more activity coming with the DIA starting here in the fall and winter programs, including they're talking about running buses down to the DIA from here and things like that, as well as seminars, shows, movies, puppet shows, kinds of stuff to come in here. The AM Rotary Senior Christmas Party was in this very room. Some of you may have been here, but it serves that purpose very well. Now we have pottery classes, Central Park Art Studio. It's just an example. We've got our, visual arts on a number of them, but they have a fully equipped pottery studio. You come in there, you make your own pottery, paint it, and glaze it. Leslie does a terrific job on that. She's got a program called Soup Swap. You come in, you make your bowl, you paint the bowl, you get it all ready, and then you swap soup with others. All the benefits going to the Salvation Army. And then you got to have soup to put in the bowl, right? So, well, the Simple Kitchen is right across the hall. And Kristen Podolinsky runs that, just done a terrific job doing culinary arts programs out there. She's about 30 hours a week of culinary arts instructions in classes that a lot of seniors, everything from my 7-year-old grandson all the way up to his grandparents are taking classes in there. Talk a little bit about facilities that we have here. We've got conference rooms, meeting rooms, all kinds of things that can really serve the whole community, but particularly seniors all day and the evening. Here's one of our conference rooms. Here's another meeting room, which is right across the hall over here for a variety of different events. Our small theater in the back, or again, there's a birthday party or anniversary party or something. And then model room right behind me across the hall. We can do exhibits, any number of things. We remodeled that room originally to show what we would do in a renovation here, and it's taken on a whole variety of purposes in the meantime. Well, this is again use of this room. We can do cabaret seating, we can cater events in here. If it's a smaller event and lighter fare, the kitchen we have here handles that, or you can bring in caterers and the like. This was a memorial service, by the way, in this room, but I was told I shouldn't talk about that. But some of the other potential things that we could do here, health and wellness program. We could bring in a top-notch health and wellness program, one of the hospitals or the like. Maybe we want to consider that. We're going to have multiple indoor social spaces. What we need is some more input in what seniors would really like here for facilities, because we've got the space and we need to take a look at how we might best use that space. Outdoor gathering spaces, outdoor fitness activities. You know, maybe as part of the renovation here coming up, we put in a coffee shop and maybe a sandwich shop, coffee shop and the like, so we can offer some of that. We've got plenty of permanent office space. It's a great downtown location. You walk to everywhere. And it's all under one roof, and it's all on the first floor. And I think for seniors, this is important. We don't have stairs. You don't have to deal with that. Everything's on the first floor. You can come in the front door. You come in the back door. Ramps coming in. That's not a challenge. What can we do with the front of the building? The Veterans Memorial out front is just a beautiful place. And there's a lot of space out there. Are the things that we should consider doing that seniors might like to do, utilizing some of that space? In the back, I would point out back here is a really nice space that's totally underutilized. We could put a garden in there, we could have seating areas, we could have maybe a small stage for whatever, but we need to take a look at it. Ramps are already in for handicap access and the like, but we need to take a look at what we could do with that. And out back, we just got acres and acres of space back there that, properly utilized, could really serve the community. So these are some of the things that we could do in the future. Now I'm going to turn it over to Ted. Ted's going to talk about some of the sports activities, and we'll see where he takes us with that. All right, Ted. There you go.
Well, you know, we're all on camera, apparently. This is that. All right. Well, I'm not as polished as Don. I've listened to his spiel a few times, and he's pretty good, right? So one thing you don't do, though, is talk about yourself, and that's what Don didn't do. And what he has done for this place has been amazing. The amount of time he puts in this is incredible. So I'm a football coach, so my tone will go up and down when I get excited, and I'm going to try to leave you guys tonight with my enthusiasm for this place. All right, I've been involved in some way, some shape or form in this building for over 38 years. For some of you, that looks old. For some of you, it doesn't look so old. It's a good mix of people. But this has been my place to go my whole life. So when given the opportunity to serve in this building, I had to take it. My wife was like, one more thing to get involved with. Geez, really? And this one means a lot to me, though. So I'm going to go first a little bit about myself and my involvement in this facility, this building, and talk about how it affects me and my family. And then at the same time, we'll go through some slideshows. Been in the community for 42 years. I'm what my mom calls a contributing member of society in Plymouth. 4 generations. So my grandfather graduated from the school in the 30s. My mom and dad, 68 and 70. I'm a Central Middle School alum. I hate saying graduation from middle school because they don't graduate yet, but we're fighting that with my 8th grader right now. And my son was going to go to this school. Then I found out about 5 years ago they were going to close it down, or 6 years ago. So that was devastating to me. It really was. I was actually involved in that meeting because of my affiliation with the Miracle League. I helped construct that piece of property, so I got invited to a meeting when I first heard it, and it tore me apart. That my son, the 4th generation of our family, was not going to be able to go, and my daughter right behind him. So here we are. He can still come to this facility thanks to the people that got behind it. And that means a lot to me. So for me, though, my first memory was when I was about 3 years old, and I don't have a lot of them, kind of dense and stubborn, but I remember my mother running across the court chasing me at my dad's adult recreational game. It was probably back in 79 or 80 when they used to play men's, but they still do play men's basketball at nights. But my dad, I remember that. That's my first memory of this place, and my memories continue. So I'm at this field all fall. I'm at this field now all summer with baseball. I'm here, I found myself here in the spring again, now sorting through football equipment and whatnot. So again, I'm here constantly. And it's not just my love, it's my mom and dad's love for this facility. God rest their souls, my grandma and grandfather, and my kids now. They don't know anything else. So this is our goal, to keep it around. And whatever little bit I can do, I will. And so now I'd like to talk to you about how it affects the recreational part, the youth sports mostly. We'll talk about a little bit, it gets into adults, but for me, sports benefits. If you don't know it, I'll explain it to you. Most of us do. Builds healthy bodies. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. Getting kids active. I've been coaching now for 21 years, so I've seen a cycle of kids, and we're getting further and further away from that. And this exposure, kids don't play outside as much as they used to. And that's, we are all shaking our head, yes, it's true. And it's not good. Problem-solving skills. Just staying healthy. Everything seems to be organized. So I can't change what happens in the neighborhood, but at least I can give a place here to have organized sports, have a place for them to go, be athletic, create healthy bodies. Discipline. Kids love discipline. And that's the first thing I tell parents every year when I coach. Your kid loves discipline. And they're like, no, not like the way you give it, the way I give it. You know, I can treat kids differently on a football field. It's kind of nice. So I've coached basketball as well and baseball, but kids love it. They are attracted to it. Sports creates that. Environments like this create that. Swimming lessons. Getting in a pool to swim a mile. It's miserable. I don't know how the kids do it. I really don't. They put their heads down. They, and just think now they have like headphones and stuff they can listen to music. We didn't have that. Yeah. I remember just swimming 2 laps in high school. I was terrified. Character, that's well said. I mean, we all know that. Sports builds character. And the adults around them build character. They get to see the good and the bad. Their teammates, what they bring back to their schools, bring back to their households. All that stuff, it can all be developed through sports. Teamwork, that's a no-brainer. Again, leadership skills, that's something that by not playing outside and getting away from it and being more isolated at home, we're seeing a little bit less leadership skills. At least I am. And maybe I'm that guy that, that get off my lawn type of guy. I'm getting older and I'm not, and your generation probably said it about me. But I see it. And giving them an opportunity to be captains, to lead, to be part of their team, to follow leadership, that's another thing. It's just a great benefit. Work ethic. I tell our kids all the time, at 5:30 on an August night, it's pretty hot. And it's a long day. And then when they get done then they go to school come September, then it's a really long day. But be proud of that work ethic. Be proud of yourself that you're there. You're doing more than most kids are doing. Again, instilling that. In today's distractions, there's so many. Phones, TVs, you name it. Getting out and being with their peers and being around people that love to coach and expose them to it, this facility can grant that. So again, the benefits are pretty well, I think we all get that. Activities that this building supports. or this facility, I should say, 16 acres, I think is what Don said. I should know that. Football, that's mine. Swimming, basketball, volleyball, football, running, tennis, baseball, you name it. And I don't know why pickleball seems to be a senior sport. It's one of my favorite, and my kids love it. We go down to Florida and they love it. My boy was actually going to ride his bike up here when he found out in August to come up and play with the seniors. So I think that's one of his core values is going to have for this summer is going, hey, I want to go play pickleball. So he enjoys it. Football. See, number 90 right there, that guy now is going to be in 8th grade. So this is from a few years ago. I don't know, I got to wait till a longer slides to kind of set it up, but, I don't know where else kids would play. Not a lot of football fields. I've given up 21 years of my, falls for this facility, at this facility for these kids, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. My own child just graduated through the Steeler program. My daughter is in her 5th year. She's going to be in 7th grade. She's a cheerleader. And the community within the community is what I call it. Some people think we're like a little cult. We're really into the program. And it's all volunteer-based. But it's a little community. And unfortunately, one of our players just passed away at a young age in the 20s. And you grow distance from him. I haven't seen his family since probably, I saw him here and there in town. But that community at the funeral was incredible. It was people that they haven't seen in 10, 12, 14 years, but it all started here at this facility. Outside in the practice field, grinding it together with the parents and making sure that their kids get to practice on time, get home on time. That's the type of environment. It's not just about wins and losses. It's so much more. OLGC, by the way, Steelers is going on their 42nd year. 1976 it started. Apparently, there's a few teams prior to that, but that's when middle school ball went away. So that's how the Plymouth Steelers came into existence. OLGC, I know they've been 35 plus years because, we scrimmaged them when I was a kid. But Our Lady of Good Counsel plays their home games here as well, and have an excellent program. Between the two, you're looking at probably close to 300 kids between cheer and football, and not to mention all the teams that come and visit, the commerce that brings, and a sense of community. Because we have a unique field. We're still natural grass. We are still, all the other teams play at high schools and whatnot. We have our own field, is how I feel, and I'm very proud of it. And we share it with OLGC on Saturdays and Sundays. And if you ever driven by there on that, how many people are in the parking lot? It's crazy. So it's good. Oh, swimming pool. All right. I had some fond memories in middle school with that. 900 regular users, anywhere from toddlers to seniors. It's every day, every day. Not to mention we just got a grant, got it back in February, had it shut down, and brought it back up, and it's in immaculate condition. Swimming instructions for all ages. The availability there is endless. I encourage you guys to look it up. My daughter had swimming classes here, learned how to swim here, and she's continuously still swim today. All certified lifeguards, instructors are all certified, great program. Cruisers, 45 years in the community, and this is where the younger kids, I believe, start up through the program, and then they develop into older cruisers and on to hopefully, high school, on to college. And I mean, they have a laundry list of kids that have had a great success in swimming. And again, they're spend a considerable amount of time here as well, and they consider this their home. We get 80 to 100 mini cruisers at the pool each year. Basketball. The court is beautiful. It's actually very unique. The way it was constructed, I consider it one of the best basketball courts in the state of Michigan, and the way it has bounce and give, it's very well built, very well constructed, and in great condition. We have various teams that practice here at the facility, and again, anywhere from league to league play to clinics to the YMCA. The gym is, I still think it's underutilized. And continuously, we find more people, and it's great to see. And we want to continue to have, we see now with schools needing more facilities, they seem to pour back into our gym, so it's great. Girls basketball as well. Open rec, I played it for years. It's a great, if you are interested in it, I don't know what night do they do it now? Is it Tuesdays? Yeah, Tuesday night. Yeah, you can do a drop-in fee. I used to play, it's pretty good, and they run both courts, and you feel in the morning, the knees and backs, and you start smelling the Bengay in the air. Men's cologne. Pistons Academy. We're going to welcome them this summer, I believe. It's going to be from kindergarten and up. It's great that they found this as their destination for their camp. And again, this is going to be another great thing for us here at the park. Tennis courts and pickleball courts. I'm waiting for them to really. Have they moved outside yet? No. All right, they stay inside. It's not warm enough for those Floridians yet. Tennis courts. You see them. I think more and more. I see more and more people using them. It's great. They're an asset. Again, something that you have 6 courts out there, and again, I'd love to see more people using them. I'd like to see some leagues get set up. Oh, this last weekend, Kids Coalition Against Hunger. So all of the local communities, this is not really a recreational thing per se, but all the organizations got together, Lions and Rotary and Kiwanis and whatnot, and they prepared, I don't know how many tens of thousands of meals. 250,000 meals. And yeah. I'm an AM Rotarian. We participated. I was at a baseball. We got rained out, but we were at baseball on Saturday. I was unable to participate this year. I did the year prior with my whole family, and it's unbelievable. It's a great production. Read about it. I think they're going to do it again next year. This space allows them to do it, which they love, because they have ample amount of room. They set you guys up. They do it again here, where they set us up here, hand washing stations, move you into the gym, and it's pretty impressive. So, the bad. What if we lose the park? To me, I lose my connection to the community. And I'm involved in a lot of different things, but no more than, football is in the fall is my life and has been for 21 years. I played for 4 here at this place. I played 4 at high school. So for 25 years, this field in fall has been my life. Is there other fields? I'd argue that. There's one at the middle school, or there's one at the high school that's artificial turf, and there's one that's grass. They are booked. They are busy. It's hard to get this field space. It's hard to create what we have here. It's very expensive to create what we already have here. So I believe this field needs to stay intact. And that goes for the track as well. There's not very many tracks. So again, I don't want to see the kids of the future, the kids today, and the kids of the past, our alumni still strong, and see them lose this field. The pool, another very expensive thing to replace. It's in great shape. How many are in the community that are such of this? There's 2 other ones really at the high school that are booked. They're not available for senior events. They're not available for just open swim. This is unique, and it's very hard to replicate. Very expensive. Basketball courts, great. Volleyball, futsal. Futsal's indoor soccer. I knew that one, so I'm good. Again, gyms are extremely expensive. Hard to get, hard to rent, hard to find. And we give that availability to people in the community. Tennis courts, the same. They're not around anymore. They're up at the high school. I don't see them as much as you used to. I remember there's still a tennis courts over by 5 in Newburgh. That's a unique one. I drive there when I go to work. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere that Livonia put them in, and they have a huge value. So if they don't have a place to go, I don't know where they go. I don't know where we play our football. I don't know where, the soccer, the lacrosse that's played here. I don't know. I have no answer for that at this point in time. And again, I hope I don't have to prepare for that. So I appreciate your time. I want to introduce you to Buddy. He's the motivational speaker guy. I'm more the football guy. So I didn't get anybody in a stance or anything like that, so we're good. Well, thank you for your time.
So about 7 years ago, I was selected to be a contestant, as you've already heard, on a primetime NBC show called The Biggest Loser. I remember the night we started filming was frightening, right? You're out of shape, very obese, and I was standing there, it's in California, and I was behind the gates to the Biggest Loser Ranch, and on the other side, it was 12:30 at night where these big lights and cameras, and you're thinking about all the failure that you are in life, and over there's Allison Sweeney, and your whole life's about to go public. And I was doing cardio. I was so nervous. My heart was just racing while I was standing there. And then I felt something behind me, and I look, and there's a woman. I've never met her, and she's lint rolling my rear end. And I'm like, I remember thinking, like, where I'm from, we at least swap names before we get to this point in our relationship. It was a really strange beginning to that 5-month experience. I was gone in California for over 5 months, missing my family and whatnot. And so my story didn't start there, though. About a year before, I kind of had one of those aha moments. I need to make a lifestyle change. I need to work on myself. And it wasn't a grandiose thing, and TV had nothing to do with it. And Biggest Loser, I wasn't thinking anything like that. I was thinking about my 2 little girls on the couch. And I was thinking, I'm just an average person who wants to be around to walk his daughters down the aisle one day, and I wasn't doing a really good job at life. And so I said, I've got to start making some lifestyle changes. And I think people start, maybe they don't wait as long as me, but that's where generally people start in the community. And then they go, where do I go to make a lifestyle change? How do I start this process? I started to try to look, and I wound up beginning at a business. I'm going to go to Weight Watchers, and they'll teach me something, and I'll start here, and I'll try to do some exercise. And so that's where I began my journey. I wanted a lifestyle change. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know where to go. And then my brother called me up one day and says, hey, they're doing a tryout. Do you want to go with me? They're doing a team thing. And so it was Buddy and Ben, the shoes, right? A pair of shoes trying out for Biggest Loser. And so I said, sure, I'll try out. I hadn't seen my brother in a while, and I didn't think we'd get picked. They said 200,000 people tried out, and sure enough, we were 2 of the 20 that they selected to go on this show. Before I kind of go into some of the programs, people sometimes will go, so what was it like? Was it really fun on the show? Nope, absolutely not. It was horrible. You might think it'd be fun to be on TV. Well, that would happen when you get home, and there's been some fun things that have happened and opportunities, certainly. But doing 6 to 7 hours of cardio a day with cameras following you around and getting horrible angles, that's not exactly the greatest thing I've ever been through. Our first workout on the show was over 3 hours long and with trainers, and it was 103 degrees temperature in the gym, and they couldn't turn on fans because this is video, right? This is for you to watch, and so the fan would have messed with the audio. So 103 degrees, people were dropping like flies, and so there was a contestant with me, if you go back in kind of Hulu season 13, Roy Pickler. He looked just like Santa Claus. I mean, identical. He was 63, had the long white beard, and halfway through our very first workout, this is what it's like. I looked over, and he fell off an elliptical, and he made this horrific noise, like, ah! And I'm sitting here thinking, they've killed Santa. I hope kids don't watch this show. I thought it was a family-friendly opportunity, and so I learned really early on that this is a game show. This is an entertainment thing, and it was really revolved around weight loss. They did some things that were very unhealthy, if you will. And so I had my experience there, and when I left to come home, I at least had the wherewithal to know I didn't go on it for a TV experience. I was excited about that, but I kind of wanted to make a lifestyle change. And I knew when I came home that there were some gaps in my life. And the things that I was learning on the show that were positive, some of them were ripped immediately from my life. There was a nutritionist there. I had a trainer. I had access to equipment and all the perfect food. Someone was shopping. I don't even know what they were buying, So there were no temptations, right? I knew that I had not really fully learned, because if you don't have any temptations, it was a 12-mile walk if you wanted to go to a gas station and get a bag of chips. Have at it. That's a marathon to get a bag of chips. You're going to lose it. That wasn't real life. real life, you work and you have a family and your kid, there's macaroni and cheese still. I came back and I discovered donuts still existed. You should understand, like I was in a bubble on the show, and when I came home, no trainers, no nutritionists, and I had really learned that there was really something about community, about people going through things together and building bonds and supporting each other. And there's a lot of data to show that people that struggle with weight, that community really helps them to keep them accountable. I think we all need a friend that sometimes goes, you need to get up and get to the gym. So I kind of knew we needed this, and I didn't have anybody because of my past history and my past failures. There was nobody here I was working out with or talking about nutrition, right? It was not a lifestyle yet, and I wanted it to be. And so I started going, what do I do? I don't know where to go. And so I started just talking to people and saying, I wonder if the community thing could actually just happen, or like organically. Like I wonder if people could care and just like me say, hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to offer who I am and what I am into the pot, and let's do things together as a community. And I heard about a health initiative that was going on in Westland, and they had a healthy passport was kind of the name of theirs. And I said, you know, I don't have much to offer to this game, but I think I'm gonna go and volunteer, and if I got 15 minutes of fame, I'm just gonna give it to them. I'll go in and say, I'll volunteer for your program, and I'll just endorse your healthy living program. And so I showed up, just cold called the city of Westland. It's a bigger city, and I walked into the mayor's office, and there were 2 females sitting there kind of at the desk, and I went to one of them and said, you know, I would like to set up a meeting with the mayor. And she says, well, what's this about? And I said, well, you know, I don't know if this means anything, it might not, but if it does, my name's Buddy, and I was on The Biggest Loser, and I would like to volunteer for your health initiative. No joke, this woman stood up in the city hall and screams, God works in mysterious ways! And I'm like, ma'am, I work in a church and you just made me wet myself. Like, I don't understand what's happening with the screaming in the city hall of the scripture. And she goes, well, here's the thing. We've had this initiative and we think it's pretty good. It's like well thought out and it's just really stagnant and dead. And so we said, next year, let's give it some emphasis. And we thought it needed somebody kind of driving the program. We thought it should be you, but we didn't know how to find you. And you showed up a week later after that meeting and volunteered. So I go, okay, that's pretty strange. So we started talking about how do we get the community together? How do we rally the nutritionists? How do we rally the pros, the experts in fitness? And how do we get the business? And how do we get the faith-based institutions? How do you get everybody, those people, those non-85%, we disagree on everything. How do we get them to agree on the fact that everybody wants to take the next step in getting healthy? And out of that was kind of birthed this program of Buddy Up. And a couple years ago, I started to meet, I came into contact with people over in Westland. I go, you got to meet the people over there. You got to meet the people over there. And I'm like, all right, people I trusted. I go, all right, let's start meeting. And sure enough, there was a like-minded heart, like-minded spirit. There was people going, I believe in the community. I believe we can do things to reach people at all fitness levels, all genders, all ages. We can do things together. And I go, I like you guys. Like, we could let's work together. And that's kind of how I got introduced to PARC. That's how Buddy Up came here initially. And so I'd like to run with you and just give you some information here, a little content on at least 6 different programs that are running here. Lifestyle changes, right? Because I've found that when you're not physically healthy, it sort of affects everything. Your self-esteem, your confidence in life, there's a lot going on. And if people don't have an outlet to be healthy and to express that, then they're really going to be hurting in a lot of different ways. Let's look at this first one. Camp abilities. This is the 2nd year in a row that that PARC is going to offer a week-long day camp. This is kids 8 to 18 with visual impairments. There's several areas of PARC they're going to use. They're going to use the park, the Rotary Room, and the pool. They're offering sports and crafts. They take advantage of the unique downtown. They can get out there. And they're teaching life skills like community mobility and social interactions in order to engage these campers with activities. This is going to expand and encourage their life. What an incredible lifestyle program that is being offered here. I can tell you this without a doubt, that those who have gone through this program, that PARC matters to them. YMCA, Girls on the Run. This is in March through May. It's founded in 1996. It's a 10-week program, and it's focused on building self-esteem and improving emotional health using a fun experience-based curriculum, and it creatively integrates running. Now see, this program is usually run at the YMCA, and they usually run it right after school, but this provides some difficulties and problems for the working people. They can't get them there, and so here it's a perfect fit for PARC, where we can run it at the night, and then they can go on the track. They're safe. They don't have to cross roads or anything like that. YMCA, Girls on the Run, another incredible program that these people are saying PARC matters to. Run or Walk, DTP, Kids Camp. This is awesome because, again, part of me started with a dad, and I want not just my health, but I want my kids' health to be affected. Mondays for an hour from June through August, PARC hosts a Walk, Run, DTP free Mini Miles Kids Camp. These are for families with kids aged 2 to 12, and they go to the PARC track. So they teach this next generation that we were talking about that wants to stay on the phones and wants to stay on the technology. It's teaching them the importance of getting physical. They do some stretching and warming up, and then they have an opportunity to get on the track and walk or run out there. What an incredible thing for this next generation. And we're telling them they matter because of the program being run here. Z-Spot, yes, an incredible group of people. I've gone through a couple of their classes. Let me tell you, there is a dichotomy because I will tell you that every class I've been to with Z-Spot here is fun. It is also horribly not fun. You understand? Because when you work out, you want to know you worked out. But you kind of like want to have fun. And I've been through cardio, kickboxing. They have Zumba, right? So you might not think of me, but if you go watch the show, I had a moment where I was just like, I realized fear was a thing in my life, and I had a moment on the show where I'm like, no more. I don't care what NBC gives me this day. I'm going for it, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna dominate it. I picked that day, I coached up my team. I go, guys, this is gonna be an awesome day. Let's just rock out. Whatever. So they took us to a disco in LA, and about 30 Latin dancers came out, and we did Zumba together. I was like, really? This is where Buddy picks to make his mark, is in Latin dancing? And so, but I had opened my mouth, and so I just said, I better go for it. And so I was just trying, I looked horrible, but I was just trying my hardest, so much so that the lady on the stage, she catches my energy, my vibe, and she points out in the audience, she goes, you, come here. And I was like, yes. And I jumped on stage, and I helped her lead Zumba. And I just gotta say, the programs that are running here, the programs that are running, they're fun like that. Like, I think we all go in going, I don't fit in. And you do. You'll find they have yoga, they have some strength, they have personal fitness, and then they have a lot of group fitness, which again, I'm a big advocate about. I love Z-Spot here. Part of what they do, they have a subcategory. My fifth program I like to present to you is Girls on the Mat. What an incredible thing I'm reading about here. Z-Spot Fitness has offered this signature yoga and self-esteem class for girls ages 9 to 13. I think everybody knows what a pivotal age in life. What a great time to say, let's feed into people and help them with their self-esteem and their confidence. So Z-Spot is encouraging young women to develop self-respect and self-confidence while integrating yoga postures and breath for a happy, healthy lifestyle. Each class will introduce a positive message. They inspire the girls to begin each day with gratitude and live each day with kindness and joy. I'm looking at that and I'm going, yeah, PARC matters. Yeah, look at that. And then the last one I'll show you here is Buddy Up. That's some of the legendary Zumba moves you see right there. Caught mid-motion, unfortunately for all of us. You know, this started in Westland, and then I met the people here, and we said a couple years ago, we go, let's bring this program to Plymouth and let's see what it is. It's an 8-week program, and part of it is each week we expose people to a different kind of exercise with a certified trainer. I believe in life you should try different things and find the things you love because you're more likely to stick with those. You're more likely to get healthy and fit if you enjoy the activity. So each week we try that. We also give out free food samples. We go around and we have business sponsors and the Simple Kitchen, and they go, hey, we'd like to sponsor, and give a nice sample so people can try different things and get recipes. They get recipes every week. And then I also do a portion where I'll talk about the things that they taught me on the show. Here's what the nutritionist said. Here's the rules. Here's the things that have helped me. We go through some mental work, right? Because I think mental coaching is part of it, right? It's not just, if it was so easy, if they were uphill, I think everyone would do it. But we've got to like change the way we think and feel about food, and we've got to go through a process. And so we try to help people with those. PARC was just a perfect match for this program. I'm looking at a community that says, let's not quit on the building. Let's preserve the legacy, and let's look at the bones of what was here, and then let's rehab anything we need to. And I feel like that's what we're doing as a health program, as a fitness program. We're trying to help people go, you are who you are, and that's awesome. Let's find a way for you to take your next step and get healthier. Since we've implemented that program 2 years ago, we've had a couple hundred participants, and we've encountered faith-based businesses. We've had an incredible time of community where people coming together. And I guess I'll end with one thing. People come into the program for a lot of reasons. People come, I want to learn some recipes, some new exercises. I want to meet some people. I want to see what's going on. A lot of people want to lose weight. We had a gentleman I met 2 years ago next door at Solid Rock, and he goes, I gotta come to the program. I need to lose some weight. His shirt size was a 5XL. And he's kind of at that place going, I need a lifestyle change, and I don't know where to go. Can I tell you, it hasn't even been 2 years, and that guy from next door, he is now down 175 pounds. Let me tell you that because of the programs that are being run here, his life has been impacted incredibly. But not just his wife, what happens at his work, his kids, and I'll tell you, my bet is that for generations to come, what he has learned here about a lifestyle change is going to impact for generations. It really, for him, I tell you, PARC really does matter, and it really helped and changed his life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Boy, I wish I could package that enthusiasm and sell it, right? But he just does a terrific job. He's such a motivator at times when we need that motivation. He just does a terrific job. We're going to wrap it up here. But as far as PARC is concerned, you've heard a lot of this already, but it really does the opportunity here to enhance the quality of life of this community. It provides real economic benefits to our community as well. The downtown area, all the people we bring into this area, it really is a complement to everything we already have. It will increase property values. I got a whole stack of studies. It increases property values when you have these kinds of amenities in a community. It makes the community more attractive. People want to be here, drives up the value of property. And it really enhances Plymouth's status in the western suburbs. With our freeway access, our demographic and the like, we have an opportunity here to really enhance the entire community. It assists business in recruiting. If you've got these kind of amenities present, it makes it easier to recruit from Silicon Valley to bring them to Plymouth in January. It provides education opportunities, venues for local and regional performances. It can provide health and wellness opportunities for seniors as well. And it really meets a significant local recreation need. And of course, we have substantial parking. We'll have a lot more with the development going forward. Last slide here. The city and the township just recently, they're just finalizing it, but they had to submit a 5-year Parks and Recreation plan to the state of Michigan. They got to renew that plan every 5 years. And it's fairly comprehensive, but some of the key points in that plan, the first one was that they need to study the feasibility of a multi-use community center. Now understand, this is from input in 2 surveys, phone surveys, various seminars. A lot of community input went into this, and this is what the community said they want. You look at that first one, that's a quote. These facilities may include indoor recreation, indoor-outdoor pool, indoor walking and running, gymnasium, a senior facility, congregate meal space, fitness area, synthetic turf, tennis and pickleball courts. Man, I'll tell you, we check a lot of boxes there. You got to think about, this is what the community said they want. These are the things we talked about tonight that we have. Imagine the impact if that all goes away. We take a huge step backwards from what it is that this community says they would like to see. The second bullet, a key element in this was that we need to coordinate and expand a senior facility and programming opportunities for seniors. Finally, they are recognizing that our seniors are grossly underserved. And in fact, in the study, they're talking about spending $5 million on senior facilities and the like. And I think most of the people in this room would agree that we need to do some work there, but I think we need to be smart about it, because I think a lot of what seniors need could be incorporated into this facility moving forward with the renovation and the plans that we have here. And finally, a key element of their plan is they want to develop public-private partnerships that would benefit the community. This is a public-private partnership. There's millions of dollars of private money in this project. We are going to need a millage in November to close the gap, but this is made to order, public-private partnership to serve this community. And PARC matters. If you listen through everything that we just presented in the last hour, if it all goes away, not a good thing. And we not only will not have taken advantage in going forward, well, we will have taken a giant step backwards if we don't properly fund this project, have it reach its full potential to serve this community. So I think it's very important. PARC does matter a lot to this community, whether people realize it at this point or not, but it does. And I think hopefully they recognize that, and we can continue to see the support that we expect all the way up through millage in November. All right, we're going to open it up for questions.